Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Nishmasi b'mirosirus bas Mordechai. Rabbi Sai, day four in Morocco. I know you want to see it. Shkoyach Noam for schlepping a Sefer Torah on your back the entire trip.
By far, the best thing here is seeing all the relationships and the engagement
Partner.
and how excited everyone is to learn Torah together.
This was the highlight for me.
Not Kirk with a string and American accent would be good for you.
To see this live. I told you, the Jews gave it to them.
Yes, you did it again. Another wonderful trip. Hopefully another trip next year is at Hashem. Thank you.
Marad,
So
Marad.
Maaseh Shira b'na'ara achat tzadka shema solika chagoel.
שיחזרו בתשובה שלמה. שיהיה לכל חיילי ישראל רפואה שלמה.
I was never so emotional on a caver. I mean, I remember the Nivah. They make a hadlaka on the caver. Don't ask. No questions. The tree doesn't burn. The whole city has blue buildings. And we were on the rooftop. Gewaldig. NDY official edition, Masechtas Chullin, volume 2. Over 200 people picked it up from satellite locations because there's a discounted price. I think it's $25 if you pick it up and you get to know your satellite location. Dear Rebelli Shlit, in the years plus since I've been doing your shir, you've stressed and expanded on many topics that require chizuk in Klal Yisrael, namely Shnei Mikro, not talking during Kaddish, Anu Tosin, the importance of the Yomi, and of course, and all in all, to be a better year. The importance of the Yomi, of course, and all in all, to be a better year. I can barely say that every time you stress importance on the topic, I take you seriously and I've committed myself to them. This is my first year ever that I'm up to date on Shnei Mikro and everything else I've mentioned. But the clincher that has really saved my life has been your recent stress on the importance of acquiring a bidet sprayer. Rebelli, you seriously have changed my life, and I hope this email will inspire Gantz Klal Yisrael to join in this initiative. So thank you for everything. Rav Nachman, you want me to send you this one also? No. Okay, so thank you for everything and for teaching us how to truly live life. There might be some truth to what he's writing. A lot of truth to it. Now, when I do email part of the shir from the restroom, I can truly enjoy saying, No, now when I do the email part of the shir from the restroom, I can truly say, Eliyahu Slamowitz, a Talmud of the email since Sanhedrin Beis, a Talmud of the complete shir since Sanhedrin Samach Ches. He's keeping track. It takes sometimes 66. No, if there was another email like his in Sanhedrin Daf Gimel, he would have joined right away. The problem is, Good morning, Rebelli. It's currently 4:51 a.m. when I'm writing this email. At the beginning of Chullin, I wanted to take my learning further, so I figured to continue my travel Masechta. Secondary limud, I already started Barachas, so I continue at one of the dafim I've covered. You spoke on how bad it is to sleep in tefillin. Being that I'm in my youth, I tend to pull all-nighters from time to time. In the past, I would try to put on tefillin. If I doze off, it didn't bother me. But tonight, I still had to do my secondary Masechta. Once I finished, the time was an hour and a half to nets, so I stayed up and made sure to fill in quickly before getting drowsy. Thanks so much for helping me and many more people understand and internalize many halachas and mitzvahs that there's confusion. Thanks so much, Moish friend, Staten Island, Babakama, Daf, Bays. And finally, Shalom Rebbe Moiri. Oh, Rebbe Moiri. Well, as well, I just wanted to share with you an anecdote. I was on a flight to Frankfurt, Germany, heading to Kiryat Tzadikim. Sitting next to me was a Malaysian woman. I was watching the day's Daf 24, and one of the AI videos came out. She said, "Excuse me, which Israeli movie is that?" It looks so awesome. I explained to her that it's better than a movie, it's MDY. And that religious Jews all over the world learn the same page of Talmud, rain or shine, day in, day out, with no vacation. So she was visibly impressed. She went on to tell me she loves Yidden and wants to visit Israel in the near future. She asked where she can access the shiurim, and I gave her the website. You never know, you might have a female Malaysian learning MDY daily, all because of AI videos. For every Talmud, Eli Geller from Lakewood, New Jersey. Official edition of MDY Shas, Masechta, Zevin Yal, Sholaf, Shkoyach, Daf Chav Zayin, Elio Nieman, Schos from Mishpacha, Elio ben Chashafega, Bedina Nencha, Bas Miriam. David Solomon dedicated memory of Avimori, Reb Shmuel Baruch, Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiz, Rechon Levracha, the Palchik Family Foundation, gratitude to the consortium and the alliance, and all they do to support MDY. Anonymous, Haslach Baruch Zivgashmis, and thank you to Chief Benny. Anonymous, for complete report, Shneima Narichas, Yom Talea Bas Esther, Yom and Daniel Rosenfeld, Brios Besimcha. Aryeh Simon, monthly sponsor, Refuah Shlema, Avimori, Baruch Ben Miriam. Benjamin and Danielle Rosenfeld, also monthly sponsor, Parnas B'Shefa. Weekly sponsors, the Spanish year sponsors, wishing the MDY family continued atzlacha and siyata d'shmaya. Daily sponsors, anonymous, in honor of bringing my first son, Bebriso Shel Avraham Avinu Mazel Tov, Yitzi Waldner, and Meir Engel. Gratitude, that's how you pronounce. Gratitude to Hashem, we dedicate a blaze to MDY for igniting so many hearts. Did we hear that song? Hinda and Kayla Simon, thank you Tati. Shkoyach Yitzi. Hinda, Kayla, Simon, thank you Tati, Akiva, and Binz for holding up the world with the Torah learning. Susie Razner, memory of Alan Razner, Zechron Levracha, 40th yards, and Avram Chaim Osher, Ben Elio, Eliezer Menachem. David Blumfeld, Lilinish Mischai Tzipor Bas Elio, Eliezer, Reb Chaim Yisrael, Ben Fred Hadassah Shlita, from the Mashpecha. Mashpecha.
The mash is from the day.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, Gary's Shver was the original mash.
He's the original mash. Black Blumenfeld.
No, they're related. There's some, whatever. His Gary Shver was nifter early, and brother, I forgot what happened over there. Yaakov, David, and Gitta, in honor of the engagement of Baruch Avram Shulman and Esther Simchav. Simchav? How? Simchayav. Koil sponsors for the month, HYK Ventures in the schus for success of all our clients. And a Koil sponsor for the month, Benjamin and Danielle Rosenfeld, Bracha Beparnasa. MDY Kids sponsor, Kinnovations LC, schus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fega, and Rivka Yehudis Bas Yavachaya. MDY Art month, Refuah Shlema Yonatan Edim Ben B'Sheva Bracha. Refuah Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Ayela Daniel Zev Ben Ayela Esther. Rabbi Isai, we're starting a brand new daf. I see Baruch Shafness is in here. He gets a big mazel tov. He had a son. Kiddush. I mean bris.
You should have been here.
Huh?
You should have been here.
My son had a boy yesterday.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Ah, grandfather. Simchas. Oif Simchas. Yavalde. Rabbi Isai, we're holding in a brand new parak. Brand new. Parak number 2. Good news. It's mamish easy. Easier maybe even than Parak Aleph so far. So we're going 26 days into the Masechta. It's mamish smooth sailing. Shmak. Hashoichet. Echel ba'oif. Shnayim bebehema. If you shecht one siman, either the trachea or the esophagus, the kana or the veshet, either one. Usually, what do you shecht by a bird first? What comes first in the bird? You're coming from the neck area. You're going to be shechting the kana. You're going to be shechting the trachea, the Israeli air conditioning pipe, the white pipe. That's good enough. Ushnaim bebehema. The Gemara is going to address right away. Hashoichet means, throughout the Masechta we learned Hashoichet is b'diavad. That was like in the beginning, the first daf, no? Hashoichet, like if you do it, okay, it's okay. What's going on? Shchitasik sheira. Veruboy shalechot kamayu. These are halachas we already learned, we're familiar. Roiv is just as good as the entire thing. So even if you don't check the whole, so let's see, let's do some pictures here. Echad ba'oif. Over here he did the esophagus, even the esophagus. Shnayim bebehema. Like, why is it only b'di'evid? What else are you supposed to do in this case? What else could you do? Ask the Gemara. Ruboy shalechad. Let's see where we have ruboy shalechad. Oh, ruboy shalechad. That's by an animal. Not good. This is also not good. Anyway, ruboy shalechad. If you do roiv, it's as if you did the whole siman. Rabbi Yehuda Omer achi yishchoy des havridin. No, you got to get those vridim. So the machlokes, some say it's the jugular. The machlokes rishonim. Here, you got to cut those blue pipes also. It's not just enough to cut the. And we're talking about, by the way, specifically in a bird. You've seen this picture. It's a bird. It's a chicken. Only in a bird you have to cut the jugulars. So remember, only in a bird. And the idea is to empty it out to get the blood out of the bird. Huh? It's not the siman. No, there's no shaykh to the siman. No. Because maybe you could rip it open. Because the idea is to get the blood out. It's not the idea to cut it. To cut, you have to cut the simanim, the kana or the veshet. Chatzi echad ba'oif. So that's the picture I showed you before. Where's chatzi echad ba'oif? Oh, here. Chatzi echad ba'oif. You only do half, not the roiv. Obviously, the halacha is no good. Ve'echad v'chetzi bebehema. You do a full kana and a half of trachea. No good. Shchitas psula. And then the Mishnah repeats, and we have to understand why. Roiv echad ba'oif. One siman by a bird is enough. So if you do roiv of one siman, also enough, 51%. V'roiv shnayim bebehema. Or cut most of the two simanim here, like this, let's say. Over here you had a good roiv. Shchitazik sheira. It's okay. Ask the Gemara right away. Hashoichet. Do you have a din l'chatchila loy? If you shech two simanim, so you only get hashoichet. It says in the beginning of the Mishnah hashoichet. And it goes on to say all the cases. One of the cases is Shnayim bebehema, right away in the beginning. What else do you want us to do? Shnayim bebehema l'chatchila loy. At kama lishchot v'leizel. How much do you want him to shecht? It's not referring to the shnayim bebehema. It's only referring to the first words of the Mishnah. Hashoichet echad ba'oif. That's a b'di'evet. L'chatchila yisheshecht two simanim. In fact, the Shulchan Aruch brings it, and I asked Rav Eisfish, and Rav Eisfish said yes. They try to do two simanim. Went on to say, we discussed the Shulchan Aruch, because it says over there, V'ichavin lachtich shtayim. So he tells me that when he went for the faher, the Rav asked him, what kavana do you have to have when you shecht? He's like, kavana, l'shem shchit. It says the Shulchan Aruch, V'ichavin lachtich shtayim. Like you should have in mind, not a kavana in your brain, but like make sure to, what's it? No, it's not kivun. It's not in intent. You should, like a goal. It's like not in the lashon of kavana of tefillah, but more. Make sure that you cut two. Riboy say more. The second shot is aruboy shalechad kamayu. Roiv is not good. It's good b'di'evet if you did it, but try not to be soymach on a 51% cut. And what if you do 49 one time? Go for the whole thing. Try to get the whole thing. So Rabbi say, this Gemara all the way to the end of today, we're just going to be discussing one simple thing. We know, everybody knows, you ask any child, where do you shecht from? They know it's from the neck. But how do you know that? Do we know from a pasuk in the Torah? Or it's just a tradition that we see from Moshe Rabbeinu all the way to today? And basically we're going to see it's tradition, but the Gemara is going to say all sorts of psukim that perhaps you can learn from the pasuk. Omer Rav Kahana, Kimash Siman. There's many different ways of going about this. 5, 6, we're going to see today. Omer Rav Kahana. Menayim l'shchita shehi min hatzaver. How do you know that shchita is from the front of the neck? Shenemar. V'shochat is ben abakar. It says the word v'shochat. And we can learn from the word shochat, it's actually 2 words. Mimokim sheshach chot. Chateu. Shach chot. The what? Sheshach means to bend over. What part of if we think, let's look at an animal, let's look at a cow. What part always bends down? The neck. What else always bends down? The knee doesn't bend down. The knee bends, but it's a straight thing that comes off the body. The head comes straight out, and then it bends down to eat. The tail should be a straight thing, and it bends down. So right away, the Gemara is going to ask you about a tail. And what does chateu mean? Chateu means clean it. Clean it out of its blood. That's where the blood should pour out of. Rashi uses a lashon here, tahareyu. Hachshireu lachil, not so much sanitize, like clean it out. Why not? Okay, but maybe the Gemara is going to explain that maybe you start there, you end somewhere else until you make a long cut. Hachshireu lachil v'tahareyu. It's interesting to point out, Toras Chaim, he brings a rekanti. He says the idea of shchita by a behema is that you leave the malach hamavos out of it. You don't let the malach hamavos kill this animal. You kill it. And by not letting the malach hamavos in, so you remove the tumah from it. And when the malach hamavos kills an animal, it inserts its venom into it. It inserts its tumah. That's the lashon of tahareyu. Through the shchita, chateu, tahareyu, you're creating a certain tahara to the animal. This is interesting if you think about it. A dead animal is matama, but if you shecht it nicely, then it has no tumah. You don't have that by a human being. Human being however it dies, it's a major source of tumah. How do you know that chateu means to clean? And we're actually going to see soon a lashon of chateu that doesn't mean clean. Chateu means to break, to tear open, to break. So over here, the Gemara brings 2 psukim. V'chiteis abayis, you clean out the house from the tzaras. When the house has tzaras. V'bayisei mehacha, tichateni ve'ezoi ve'tar. David HaMelech says, I want to be cleaned out from my aveira with Bathsheba, be'ezoi ve'tar. I want to be clean. Ask the Gemara, so you're telling me it's something that bends. There's one other, I can think of 2 other things actually, that bend on an animal. Can anyone think of the third thing? It's a tough one. What else on an animal bends? Not its knees, not its tail, and not its neck. What else? Tongue bends. It stays in. What?
The horns?
No, they don't bend. The ear.
Ear bends?
That's no. Horns don't bend. You put it down, but they're stabilized. They're what do we do?
The tail doesn't bend either.
It does.
The tail's down.
That's the Gemara's answer.
Right.
It doesn't.
It should be like this. It has a chut hashedra. It should go in line with the animal. It's the continuation of the spine, but it bends down. The ears, very interesting. By the animal, the ears could stand up. They go down. It moves. So it's something that has the Gemara v'emim is navai. Maybe the tail. Shach miklal shizakov bein. It goes down. It should have been straight. V'ashach v'yimedu. So says the Gemara, no, it's in a downward position forever. It's always down. Once in a while, it picks it up to chase away the flies or whatever. But it's in a downward position. The neck is an upward position, but it goes down. Ask the Gemara, ve'ema ma'aznai. Maybe it's ear. I think it's super interesting if you look around at all the animals. Every animal could move its ear in different directions, and it's basically to protect it. Like it wants to see, it controls the way it hears. Human beings, stationary. I had a guy in the Hebrew shir that moves his ears up and down a little bit, but not like like animals go up, down, to the side, right, left. What's pshat? Pshat is we don't need it. How do we need it? If we do, that's not how we use our hearing. We hear song, we hear this, but we're not trying to protect ourselves from enemies with our ears. These animals, they're constantly, you see them in the safari, like, the jeep is coming from there, where's it coming? Different directions, right, left, Givaldic. I just want to say this thing, it reminded me of this idea, and I think it's a murdic idea for a lot of people. There was a guy that came to a Rav. He says, I'm having issues with shidduchim. Unfortunately, it's, every person I know basically has an issue here and there in this parasha. And the Rav said a murdic thing to him. He said, remember when your son got engaged, and you're all verbissen. You're verbissen. The mechutin said this, and then he didn't do it, and then the hall was like that, and it didn't come out this, and this didn't work out. And you come to the chasana like with a heavy heart. And he said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you a gift, and you didn't like, wow, unbelievable. Okay, so there's a problem over here. You let the problem overtake you, and you were focused on the problem instead of the unbelievable gift HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you. So right now, he's not interested in giving you another gift. When the gift comes, Rabbi said, when the gift comes, remember, when the gift comes, you take it and you mamish b'simcha g'doyla ma'od, and the Yisar is always going to seep in there and try to knock out that gift and put down the gift for you. So you have to know how to concentrate on the toiv. Zog the Gemara. Mazik Shula. It reminded me. No, it reminded me because this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you what you need, not more and not less than you. You think you're. We have these. Okay, just it triggered this thing. No, he's right. Bidyuk. No, it's a very good. It's legitimate. It's a legitimate question. It Kimat has nothing to do. It triggered the memory. So I have a side. Sometimes it doesn't work out well. If all of a sudden I remember something, it triggers something. So I say it, and that's where my filter fails a lot of times. This was a good one. I didn't want to forget it. I want to say it.
It's a safe space.
Yeah, small for the most part. Those who are further down the table, it's more. So the Gemara. Ve'imo me'oznoi. Being in Dama Nefesh, we're going to cut from his ear. That's not where the Dama, we learned in Zvachim, the Shechita has to be Dama Nefesh, it spurts out that blood that the Neshama goes out with. Is Dama Tamtzis, is that what?
There's the tail.
Okay, so we're going to get there.
Trump said that the ear bleeds a lot.
So why don't they answer that by the tail?
Zog the Gemara. The tail is a lot more sensitive, in my opinion. Although the Gemara is going to talk about how it's an offshoot of the Chut HaShedra, of the spine, which, that's one of the areas of the body that the body goes out in a millisecond. If it gets severed, and it's just a continuation of that Chut HaShedra. It happens to be that at a certain point, it's less sensitive. But I could see where that could kill an animal a lot quicker than cutting a little piece of its ear. They go into the air every day, and they put those tags on the ear. It's nothing.
Well, Taisus Rosh asked.
The Gemara could have answered everything.
Taisus Rosh asked.
Okay.
The Gemara could have answered.
Let's do the teretz. Let's see what happens. Says Gemara being down ve'ema the kora va'ozul ad dama nefesh. Start at the ear and continue until there's dama nefesh. V'su shehiyah drosa chalada hagrama v'ikur minola. Obviously, you don't have a pasuk that tells us shehiyah drosa chalada hagrama v'ikur. What are those 5 things? Let's see them real quickly. Nachamol. Shehiyah is when there's a pause in the shechita, a certain amount of time. Dross is when you do a downward motion. I like the fact he did a whole shechita here and it's not even gross. It's like sterile and everything. Chalada is when you hide the knife under a siman or under a blanket, or the knife is hidden. Over here he hides it between the simanim. Ikur is when one of the pipes pops out, usually I guess the trachea. And hagrama is where you do the shechita not in the place of the shechita, more like past the tabas hagdoila. We had that whole sugya. It's higher up on the kana. So where do you see these 5 problems in shechita? Ella Gemara. It's a Messiahs. It's a Kabbalah. We receive a tradition from generation to generation. So therefore, Shchita Menat Savernami, Gemara. So too, shechting an animal from the neck is a tradition that we received. They did this in the Midbar. They did this in the Beis Hamikdash. It's not in the Torah. It's from Moshe Rabbeinu, directly from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ukra l'mayasa. So then what do we have this pasuk of a shachat as ben abakar? The loyla shaviu gistera. Don't make it a gisra. I'll remind the oilam. Maybe if you're brand new to the Masechta, a lot of people starting the first. Also very clean. The idea is it comes. Boom. Look at the guy in the left top window. Philly. That's a gistera, basically chopping an animal in half. So where do you see in the pasuk? It's sach. What's the lashon that they used? Chateu. Chateu. It should be a shchita chateu clean, and not more. Not more. It should be up to a certain point. Don't go crazy. It almost seems like it's usher to cut him. It's usher to cut the head completely off. Rav Yemar Omar Krov is a vachta mimakim shezov chateu. So we have another pshat here. How do you know that the shechita must be from the neck? V'zavachta. Mimakim shezav. It's also two words. Zav chateu. From the place that the blood comes out of, chateu, break it. Over here, chateu doesn't mean to clean; it means to break. Cut it right there in the neck. My mashma dai chateu listen to them taberu. How do you know that chateu over here means to break? D'chsiv al teiro al teichos. Don't fear and don't break. So teichos is a lashon of breaking. Another place where it says al tiro al teichos, I thought it was moiridik, is by David HaMelech telling Shlomo, I want you build the Beis Hamikdash al tiro al teichos, which I think it's unbelievable because a lot of times it's natural. It's like Shlomo HaMelech could say, why should I build the Beis Hamikdash? My own holy father, one of the legs of the Merkava, he didn't build the Beis Hamikdash. So who am I? This idea of like, I'm not worthy. My father didn't do it. Who am I? No, sometimes you have a murdic idea, a murdic plan of this. You go with it. You don't say, oh, but that God didn't do it, or my father didn't do it, or whatever. No. Al tirab al teichos. If it's good, if this is the Ratzon Hashem, you do it.
That pasuk nothing to do with shechita, though.
What? No, the first one. No, there's nothing to do with shechita. We want to know what teichos means. Teichos is second. Yeah, we're translating a word. Does teichos mean to clean, or teichos means to break? So you see over there, al tirab al teichos, don't break. Teichos means to break, not to clean. As the Gemara of Eima Mechatmai, why your noses are running? Cows have running noses. There's the mucus, and it's another thing that so the zavachta you should shecht it from a place that something runs, a runny nose, huh? Flows. There's a flow. They say this is tam a line. If your feet smell and your nose runs, you're built upside down. If your feet could smell and your nose could run, so you're built upside down. Jordan, yeah, finish on the top. You finish on the top, he's done anyway. He's masking, he's done. Now you just opened up a whole nother box of who knows. Says the Gemara, it can't be the nose because the flow must come through breaking, through shchita. V'haizav me'elavu. Over here, his nose runs whether he likes it or not. He doesn't like it actually, it still runs. As the Gemara, maybe he's supposed to stab him in the heart. I had a whole conversation with Rabbi Yitzchak Erman. He used to work for the Agudah, and he was the original one that called me like 2 years ago about the Sima Shas and what we should do and the whole thing. And I had this is 2 years ago. And I had a whole conversation with him till like 1 a.m. He's working now on convincing politicians. They brought a whole group they spend a lot of money. getting cardiologists and brain surgeons and all sorts of things and all different equipment to hook animals up to these machines and prove that shechita is the most humane way to kill an animal. It's less tsar than stunning, which the goyim use. And they were able to prove that it's instantaneously. It's like the animal doesn't feel the knife, but the blood, something with the brain, and it just shuts down immediately, and that's it. And it's quicker than stunning. They're proven. People are happy because he says what happens is you have places like in Holland that the first thing they go after, the anti-Semites, they go after the shechita. Once they get the shechita done, then they go straight to Mila. It's a quick jump. And now this week they put Moyalim in jail. They arrested Moyalim. It's a whole. So they want to get it before it becomes, the PETA and all that out of hand. Okay, very, very interesting stuff. No, but if you could prove, they came with the assumption that the Torah knows what it's talking about. That Kosh Baruch Hu is not interested in Tzar B'Chaim. There's Issa Tzar B'Chaim, and they do shechita. Zog the Gemara. Where are we? Limai. We're at Libai, but I can't find Libai. Oh, the heart of the sugya.
You don't say not to do it, and you do it.
I didn't do it. I'm just repeating from him. Ve'emem Libai. I'm not enough kishim for that. Ve'emem Libai. That's true. Vesu. Shehiyah, Drasa, Chalada, Hagrama, V'ikra Manolans. We have a little bit of a freebie a few times. Okay, so you have a source for Shechita in the Torah. And where's your source for Shehiyah and Drisa? Ella, Gemara, you have to admit that there's a big component of tradition. Shechita min Tzavnami Gemara, so then the Shechita also is tradition. Ukrolam also, so then what I need the positive. The Shavui Gisra, that Chateyu and no more than Chateyu. Shouldn't cut it, chop it completely off. The very small tana, another pshat. V'shachat. So before we did shach with the shin that he bends down. Over here it's a sin. V'shachat. I'll think of v'shachat ela v'sochat. A sin, a samach. V'sochat means mimakom shesach chateu. From the place that he vocalizes whatever, he makes his moo from the vocal cords. We saw the chiti in the pipe. That's where you should clean. Now we're going back to chateu, clean. In other words, cut him and clean out the blood from that area. Oh, maybe from here. Let's see, what's l'shoynoi? This is Dama Nefesh. Whew. Shem Yirachim. This is l'shoynoi. Okay, fine. L'shoynoi. The whole part, whatever it is. Listen, I'd rather have this. You go until we put a full stop.
Is that tongue in cheek?
So, maybe cut his tongue, and that's the shechita. Be'inon. Get out. Get out. That's not how you say weiter. Get out. Look at, I don't know where, we got to put a stop to this. Weiter. From England. You want to do tshuva and say like a mensch? It's going to be a big busha now. Okay, editors, cut that weiter out, please. Beg you. Threw me off now. Mendy? Oh! Okay, now I can continue. Please, if you're from England, do not try to say anything here. Garnished. Gemara, fine. I'm confused now. I'm so confused. You have no most of what he did to me. Oh, okay. Let me calm down a little bit. Have a drink. I don't know if that's enough.
Start. You make a bracha.
Bracha.
Yeah, make a bracha.
Baruch atah.
Want to sing a song?
Yeah, we definitely need a song. We need a nigga now. No, yeah. Yeah. Okay, maybe we'll show. Now I feel much better. Maybe we'll show you. Maybe you should do shchita from the tongue. Being in dama nefesh uleka again. It's not going to give you that blood that we need. The dama nefesh. Oh, where do we get the dama nefesh? I forgot to show you. Ki nefesh habasar bedam hu he badam he. There's a pasuk that says you need dama nefesh. The car of Azal ad dama nefesh. Maybe you're cutting the tongue all the way. This is where I thought about the conversation with Yitzchak Kerman. The Torah is going to say cut the tongue, which is very painful, and then all the way to dama nefesh. Yeah, okay. Havamina. Besu she addressed chalad agrom v'ikam and Allah. Now with the freebie, how do you know those 5 things that are also Ella Gemara? I learned there was a tradition, so maybe also shchita is a tradition. Ukra also once again, so the one we're going to do the you can't cut it off completely. Stop there by the simanim. Don't continue in to the marpekes, to the spine, etc. Another Tana brings a source for doing shchita from the neck. The Sanyo Rebbe Chia Omar. How do you know it's from the neck? We're talking about the oila, the carbon tamid every single morning, the oila. You chop it up into pieces, and you bring 13 kohanim, they bring the parts onto the mizbeach and the makriv, all the parts. So it says already, cut it into pieces. So then why does the Torah point out 2 parts? The head and the fat. It should say, if already, the legs, the hands, the stomach. No, pader's fats. Why does it say, you'll see in a second, it means the fats. It's It's already part of the animal, so why you, how do you say point out? Single out. Why are you singling out the head and the pader? It has to be something they could skin. The problem is that you're not skinning the head. Why? Because it was severed from the body. What does it mean severed from the body? Through the shchita, through cutting the two simanim, it severs the head, so to speak. And Memela, it's not part of the hafshata. Here's hafshata real quickly. I saw hafshata in real life. It doesn't look this easy. It's a lot harder. This is just l'saber soinaim. In real life, if you were to do that, you would be sitting there for 20 minutes schlepping, yeah? It doesn't. They pull and pull. Today they have machines. They hook the machine to it and it goes, whoop, hydraulic machines. But if you're doing it by hand, it's an avodah. It doesn't just pop off. So you need to skin the animal from a place you need to skin, but you're not going to skin the head because it's already not part of it. It says in the Torah's God that the head is already detached. You see this idea that it's detached from the shechita. If you notice, there's a jump here in the psukim. The Gemara asks a question: Why does it single out here? Pasuk ches. It says, why do you single out roish v'sapader? The Gemara says, Tamud loymar ves roish v'spidroi. But that's the pasuk is base. Go back to this pasuk. Why didn't you say? Oh, it says roish v'sapader because it's special. You don't have to skin it. It says Gemara achiko amar. Menayin the rabbi says roish kvar huta has already came off. Tamud loymar is roish v'sapader. You're right. We're going back to this pasuk. This is the pasuk. The problem is roish v'pidroi. Why do I need pasuk base? This pasuk. What do I need? It seems like it's extra. Let me show you this video. There's something wrong with this video. I'm going to tell Yoshi he needs to change it. It seems like from the Mishnah, it's mamish not like this. It seems like the head, the guy holding the head is in the front. It even says here in the Gemara. But so ignore the first guy. I tried to take him out this morning, but it didn't work well. I could have started the video from here, but I wanted to show the whole. Yeah, I guess I could have. But he's in there. The guy in front of him you can't take him out. This is a procession. And each person schleps. But there's a certain, you see over here, derech eretz of not showing disgusting things. Somebody sent me a video, I guess it's supposed to be funny, of in Los Angeles, a guy is taking a body, literally 2 days ago, he's taking a body in the street, in front of everybody, and the, how do you say alunka in English? The stretcher falls, and the body falls onto the street. It's a whole commotion, and he's by himself. He's trying to take the body, put it back on the stretcher, back and forth. It's in front of children, people walking by over there. You have to have common sense and respect for things. So we're going on the Mizbeach with a cut head. So you don't want to show all the insides of the head. Somebody came over to me yesterday, he says, the trip to Morocco looked unbelievable. One thing on Mamash Makana, I saw that they were serving sweetbreads. Sweetbreads is my favorite. To me, I gave the sweetbreads to the guy next to me. Yesh v'yesh. But to see the sweetbreads live, uncooked, it's not so geschmack. Huh? Who? Doesn't know what sweetbreads is? It's the brains. The brains of an animal. That's you're not allowed to. You can't really get it here. I don't think you could get it. So apparently they thought it was a murdicular thing that everybody. It's chashuvs. They served it. It was one of the 20 things they served that night on the, you know. It's very, very confusing for a lot of people. It says sweet breads. So it's geschmack. So you take a bite out of it because it's sweet bread. What could be wrong with sweet bread? Yeah, it's mamash lo shesagina. How do you know that you put it on the mizbeach, not like in the video? You put it first on the mizbeach. That what? So it goes first. That's why we have that extra puzzle. It's roishiv is pidroi v'orach. First the roish, then and the fat v'orach. Turning of the Daf, sponsored by Dar Global Specialists in International Financial Services, and by Chaim Milrad, the Nishmas Imi Mirosi, Fradeto Bas, Yitzchok, Olea Shalom. Upeder Kama, the first in Pasuk Ches, which says Peder, the Kazar Rahman Olamali. Mebayla Tanya Ketzi Duoisa. What's the process? Choifes HaPeder Al Beis HaShchitum Aleyu. You cover the best you can all the gross parts. You sterilize it, much like our pictures over here. No blood, everything's perfect. You see side over here. If you can, you cover things. You cover the wound. You cover the. It should look good. On top. Another source for shchita from the neck. The sign I told you it's easy, and there's going to be even agata today. The sign is it says the word behema and bird, behema v'oif, all together. Otherwise, it's going to be one of these videos, mamish, a shockingly beautiful video soon. Ben, it's no regarding behema and oif. Think to yourself, the sheshis and bereshis, best you've ever envisioned it, and what happened on every day. Shlomo did a fascinating job. The sign is behema v'oif. Why does the Torah put it? It's a hekesh. Behema ve'oif. Why are they together? For what halacha? Be'ezah Torah. In what halacha? Shavsa behema la'oif. Oif le'behema. In what halacha are they the same? In fact, they're very different in a lot of things. Behema metamo b'maga u'b'masa. When you have a dead animal in vela that wasn't shechted, a cow that wasn't shechted, it's metamo b'maga u'b'masa. Just touching it. This is not such a great masa. Masa would mean even if there's like separation of shelves or whatever, but since you lifted it up, here, it becomes tummy right away. Okay, fine. Masa. When you touch a dead bird, a kosher dead bird, you're not tummy b'chlal. How do you become tummy from a kosher dead bird? On a vela, or one that was run over by a car? Which is huge. It's a very severe tumah. It's so severe that it makes your clothing tummy. When you touch an you become tummy. Your clothing don't become tummy. You touch an avela, in that case, this guy right over here, his clothing don't become tummy. They do, but it's a masa. An avela, maga. Oh, maga, yeah, masa, yes, correct. Okay. Fine, but a beis habliya is a tremendous chiddush. What's a beis habliya? And Yoshi did a beautiful video. I wasn't able to show it last night. It wasn't ready yet. Because I told him I'm done with that video with the Tesla, almost running it over. We need something new. Besides, I told him that one of the main points of the video should be that another person inserted it into the mouth. You didn't touch it. Right. You're not touching it. Sticks it into the back of the mouth, then you become tummy. That's the nikud I want to point out. See, Mamish did a very good job. If I take a piece of steak that's an Avela steak of a McDonald's and shove it down my friend's throat, he doesn't become tummy. So here's the new and improved one. That's Abbei Sabliya. When it hits his, and it even shows his throat, when it hits the back of his throat, boom, becomes Tomei. So Memela, so what are they similar to? Just like a behemoth requires shchita, so to a bird. Maybe a bird you also need the roiv, simanim, a majority of both simanim. Rashi brings that before we mentioned that the head was chopped off. Okay, with the marach when we go into the mizbeach. Talmud loimer zois. It's a miut. No, only an animal needs two. A bird doesn't need two simanim. Reb Lezer oimer be'ezeh Torah shavsa behema loif v'oiv lebehema. In what are an animal, like we're going weiter, another thing that animal is similar to a bird, another pshat. We see the concept of doing melika through the nape, from the neck, the back of the neck. So behema also is from the neck. Maybe you should shecht an animal from the nape, the back. Only this bird's nape is you do malika memular b'v'lo yavdil. Rosh Hashanah memular and Rosh Hashanah memular. Great. Rebbe Lezer, but Rebbe Lezer who just said that the behema and the bird are equal. So what does he do with the word zois that makes an exclusion? We should go reverse. Learn a behavior from a bird, and a bird you only need one siman, you don't need two simanim. So maybe an animal only one siman, not two. Because Rachmana Zois, no, the one siman is reserved only for a bird, but an animal you have to cut two simanim. Tani bar kapara. Shtikal agadita. Tani bar kapara Zois tars behema ve'oif. If we look at the pasuk, you see that you have behema, oif, then fish. Behema, oif, fish. So the bird is situated in between a behema and a fish. For what? That a bird you have to shecht two simanim now, according to the Bar Kapara. Sorry. You can't. That can't. Why? You think two simanim? No. You're like a fish. A bird should be like a fish. And fish, we know, no simanim. You knock it on the head and that's it. So maybe if it's like a fish, zero simanim. You can't do zero because it's like an animal. It's like in between an animal and a fish. So what's in between an animal and a fish? Fish is zero, an animal is two. Okay, so you give him one. It's in between. How do you know fish doesn't need shchita? In the same pasuk. Very good. This week's parasha. True. Very good. Hatsoinu bagi shachal lahem. Im es called the Eli Yomi Yosef lehem. Ba'asifa ba'al masagilu. It says mefurish in the pasuk. It starts off saying that the cattle you should do shchita yishachal lehem, and it says right away it's called the Eli Yomi Yosef lehem. You only gather them. Ba'asifa ba'al masagilu. More the Gemaisa with Rebbe Yashiv. He's gives shir. And a guy that came from Russia. Interesting, I have two guys that came from Russia. I don't think they're Jewish. I didn't want to ask them. I'm pretty sure. They made Aliyah to Eretz Yisrael 34 years ago. Right? They're not Jewish, right? I don't think so. No, it's unbelievable. They kilo like the Yidden and the fine. Hope they don't listen to this year. So, this guy comes from Russia. Every night comes to Rabbi Yasser Shir, falls asleep. So somebody asked him, I said, what do you do? Go home, sleep like a bench. He said, listen, when I was in Russia, I was once in a bar, and the KGB burst into the bar with their zetzers, and they started beating every person in the bar up. So I said, I have no idea what these people, I'm not part of their group. There's a group here, I happen to be here. Doesn't matter. You're here, you're getting beat up. And they beat him up. He said, oh, I want to be part of the group that learns Torah. I am sleeping. Okay, just like in the bar. I was also not part of them. I was sleeping. But to be here, ba'asifa ba'alma, sagilu. Just sitting here. Throwing out a joke once in a while. But you're here. Huh? That's part of it. Even if you don't understand, you say you don't understand. How can you not understand such easy sugi? Even mamish. Everybody understands. Slav. What's Slav? Anybody? What does it look like? They have them here in Bet Shemesh. This is a chashuv one with a crown. It's not AI. This is the real deal. Kishborim said, "You want meat? I'll give you meat. Ooh, I'll give you meat until you're sick and tired of it." But it says in the pasuk. Mamish lost it. Is a slav. It says Lashon Asifa. By fish it says Asifa. You tell me Asifa means to gather. So by slav it says to gather. Is the pasuk of Klumi Evshar. He said a bird you have to do shchita. Tomorrow sugya if a bird needs shchita or not. Hasam says the Gemara like Siva Asifa Mokim Shchita Dachrini. What does it say over in the pasuk? The pasuk starts off with shchita, tzoinu baki yishachet. Then it says the Yom Yosef. So compared to yishachet, Yosef means to gather. But when the slav, it says the word asifa, but in its own pasuk doesn't talk about shchita. Obviously, you have to shech the slav. When it's mentioned together with shchita, so asifa means just to gather. Says this person from Galil. The earth is hard, it's strong. So you have to cut two simanim to counter its strength, so to speak. It's soft, it's nothing. To eat it, you don't have to cut anything. The bird that was created from a mixture of the earth and water, like a mud. So it's in between. Teida. I think it's only one time in Shas he's brought down. Shari oifois yesh lohen kaskeses bragleim kedogim. Check this out. If you look at the foot, you look at the birds. These are chicken feet. Where some of us were zoicha that our mothers would put it in the chicken soup. That's why we're different. Casqueses, some people manage to go out of the way and they buy it off market, in the black market, the chicken feet, black market. The wet market. Anyways, look, it has scales. So you see, it's a raya that they were born from water. Look, it says, mayim, yishritzu hamayim. What's going to come out of the water? Sheretz nefesh ve'oif, and a bird, yoifef. So you see that they were created from water, birds. It says, min adama they came. They came from the land. So, Voiche Eloi, I just want to point out that Rashi says Voiche Eloi is referring to Gemara in B'chairis that says, Kuntrikun Hegmoin asked Rabbi Gamliel, She'elois Harba. And this one is not even brought there, so this is just a teaser to B'chairis. Mamish, the whole Masechta should be, should be all Agadita, according to this. Not Mamish. So, you could ask Noam, he's working on B'chairis now. So, which one is it? Was a bird created from water? Or was a bird created from the earth? Omar Loi, so he tells him in Rakak Nivru. I just want to show you this unbelievable video. Here we go. It gets better and better. You'll see. Every school is going to show this. Shemesh, Urea. This is not created yet, but then it gets created. Let's see. Clownfish. The beauty. Min Rakak, that's Rakak. Min Adomo. Murder. You have a stira. On the one hand, it seems like the bird was created from the water or from the earth. Which one is it? From in between, from the mud. He sees later his Talmidim are looking at each other like, what did he just say? It's hard for you to see that I just pushed my enemy away with nothing, with a silly answer. No, I'm telling you the birds were created from water. So this pasuk that HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought them to Adam, just to be named. That the second thing that he just said, Stam, that the birds were created from water, this is what he told the guy. But to his Talmidim, he said the truth, that they were created from both water and earth, which is Rakak. In fact, Mishum Dechsiv al Vayitzer, that in the pasuk of Vayitzer Hashem Elikim min ha'adama v'eskalav, that Hashem did create from the ground, but also from the water, which means the Rakak. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.